Hello. So here we will solve the quadratic equation using all three methods. So we will introduce the three methods of how to solve the quadratic equations. And by the way, we already have videos of these, of each of the methods. So we have a video for one method, another video for the second method, and another video as well. So the methods are, so we have factoring. So we have a video for that, how to solve the quadratic equations using factoring. And we have a method as well on how to apply directly the quadratic formula. All right. So this is just an example that you can also apply the three methods in just one problem. So you just need to choose of which of the three methods is the best for you, or which would you prefer. If you find one method to be faster for you, then use that method. So here's a quadratic equation. So here's a quadratic equation. So it is a trinomial quadratic equation, right? So that is a quadratic equation. So the first method, which is very usual too, is the factoring method. Instead of applying the quadratic formula, you can apply factoring to solve for the values of x. All right? I will always tell my students, if you are having a hard time finding the factors of a trinomial or a quadratic trinomial, I always tell them to apply directly the quadratic formula. Don't have second thoughts. Just apply that formula. And you can solve for the values of x, the two values of x. Remember, since it is a quadratic, how do you know that it is a quadratic equation? We have discussed this one in the previous video. A quadratic equation, since the highest power in the equation, or the highest exponent, is 2. So in this case, as you see, x squared, so the highest exponent or the highest power in the equation is 2. So it is quadratic. And since the power is 2, therefore we will expect to have two solutions for x. So, since it is x squared. So if you have an equation that is x to the 3, you should expect to have 3 solutions of x. Because the power would actually tell us how many solutions there are. So in the case of a quadratic equation, we will expect to have 2 solutions for x, since it is x squared. All right, so let's introduce this first method of factoring. Usually this is the fastest when it works. So when it works, this is actually the fastest method. But if it doesn't work, I don't want you to spend so much time in it if it doesn't work. Just proceed immediately and apply the quadratic formula. Again, when it works, this method is the fastest method, the factoring. So what does factoring means? Meaning we want to have two numbers. When you multiply it, it will be 6. And when you add it, it will be -5. Where did it come from? It is from here. So two numbers, when you multiply those two numbers, it would give you +6. But when you add those two numbers, it would give you -5. So again, when you multiply it, it will give you the last term, the third term. But if you multiply it, or rather if you add it, it will give you the middle term. All right? So multiply and give you the last term, and then add both and will give you the middle term. So what do you think are those two numbers that when you multiply them, it will give you +6, but when you add both, it would give you negative 5. Now, in this case, I would recommend that you prepare a table. And in the table, you list all the pairs that when you multiply would result to a positive 6. So here is a table with all the factor pairs of positive 6. So in the first column is the number 1, the first number. The second column is the second number. And look at them, number 1 and number 2. If you multiply 1 and 2, so column 1 and column 2, it will always give you positive 6. So positive 1 and positive 6 when multiply would give you 6. Remember, we need positive 6. Now, what is the other pair? We can also have negative 1 and negative 6, right? If we multiply both, it would also give us a positive 6. Oh, what else? Oh, we can also have 2 and 3. 2 times 3 will also give us positive 6. We can also have negative 2 times negative 3. That would also give us positive 6. So all these pairs would give us positive 6. But remember, we must also have negative 5 for the middle term if we will add them both. Okay, let us now add number 1 and number 2. So we have here 1 and 6. If we add them, it would give us 7. So that is not what we want, right? Because we want negative 5. Remember, we want negative 5. Now we have negative 1. We add negative 6. The answer is negative 7. We don't want that. Next, we have 2 and 3. When we add them, will give us 5. Oh, we still don't need it because we need negative 5. Remember? Now we have negative 2 and negative 3. It's negative 5. So that means negative 2 and negative 3 when multiplied will result to a positive 6. And when you add them will result to negative 5. So this is the numbers that we need. These are the numbers that we need. The numbers that we need are negative 2 and negative 3. So now that we found negative 2 and negative 3, we will now rewrite our equation. So this is the original quadratic equation. We will now factor it using the negative 2 and negative 3. So here are the factors, x minus 2 and x minus 3. So the factors negative 2 and negative 3. So we factored the quadratic into x minus 2 and x minus 3. Now to solve for x, we simply equate each factor to 0. So we equate x minus 2 to 0 and solve for x. The x is equal to 2. Equate x minus 3 to 0 and solve for x. The other value of x is 3. So as you can see, there are two values of x. One is 2, the other value is 3. So because we are expecting to have two values of the quadratic equation because the power is 2, right? So this is our final answer then is the set x equal to 2 and x equal to 3. This is using factoring. So we factored the quadratic equation and we solved for the values of x, 2 and 3. Now let us apply method number 2. Method number 2 is what we call the completing of the square. We complete the square. Again, we are given with the quadratic equation. How do we complete the square? How do we complete the square? This is how we will complete the square. what we will do is we will move the constant to the other side, meaning we will move positive 6 to the other side of the equation. So it becomes like this, right? X squared minus 5x. And since we move it to the other side, it will become negative 6. All right? So what will we do next to complete the square? We will take half of negative 5 and square it. All right? So the middle term is negative 5x, right? So it's negative 5, the middle term. What we will do is we will half it. So we will divide negative 5 by 2. We will half it. So it will be negative 5 halves. And then we square it. So take the half and then square it. So you take the half, so it's negative 5. And then you square it like this. And when you square it, it would be 25 over 4. It would be positive, of course, because negative 5 squared is 25 and 2 squared is 4. So 25 over 4. What you will do is you will add this to both sides. So you will add 25 over 4 to both sides. So it will be like this. So this is the first one. Remember, we transferred negative 6 to the other side. And then here is the one, half of 5, and we square it. And then since we add it on one side, you should add it also on the other side, plus 25 over 4. So as you can see, the left side becomes a perfect square now. So here, this one now becomes a perfect square. When we added 25 divided by 4, it becomes a perfect square. What is the factor? It would be this, x minus 5 halves squared. So the left side, so this one, so this one, all right, when you factor it, the factor is x minus 5 halves squared, because it is a perfect square now. We have completed the square. And I hope you remember how. And then this is the value, x minus 5 halves square. So that is the factor now on of the left side. It's completing the square. And then we will simplify the right side. All right? Because we have here in the right side, we have negative 6 plus 25 over 4. All right? Negative 6. You cannot add it directly because 25 over 4 is a fraction. So 25 over 4 plus minus 6. But minus 6, we can rewrite it into negative 4 over 4 as a fractional form. Right? Since we have a fraction here which is divided by 4, we will also convert negative 6 into a fraction with a denominator of 4. And that is actually negative 24 over 4. So we write negative 6 as a fraction of negative 24 over 4. And then we simplify the right side. We have negative 24 over 4, that is previously 6. And then we subtract 25 over 4. The answer is 1/4. And finally, we have this one. So this is the left side, and the right side is 1/4. All right? So how do we solve for the value of x? Remember, this is our new equation now. But we need to solve for x, right? We need to solve for x. So what we will do is we will take the square root of both sides. All right? Because what happens here if we square it? If we square it, it would actually, we take the square root here. Take the square root and take the square root on both sides like that. So when we take the square root, it cancels the square. Right? So, and what is the square root of? Oh, see, it would become like this. See, what is left would be x minus 5 over 2, because the square root and the square is cancelled, right? So what is left is x minus 5 over 2. And the other side, the square root of 1/4 is actually plus and minus 1/2, right? And from that, solve for x. Use solve for x. X equal to 5 halves plus and minus 1/2. All right. So there would be two values of x. The first value would be 5 halves plus 1 half. The second is 5 halves minus 1 half. So 5 halves plus 1 half. So the answer would actually be 3 and 2. So if you solve for the values of x here, so the first value would carry the positive sign, the second value of x will carry the negative sign. And when you solve for that, it would give you the values of x equal to 3 and x equal to 2. And that would be the final answer. Now, what did you notice? This is actually the same answer as the first method, right? The first method, we also had x equal to 2 and x equal to 3, right? That is because whatever method you use to solve the quadratic equation, the answers for x will always be the same. So that is why I always tell my students, don't spend too much thinking of what factors to use. Just use immediately method number 3, which is the quadratic formula. This is the quadratic formula which I would recommend that you memorize. So it is minus b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So you divide all of them by 2 times a. And of course, you need to know what a, b, and c are, right? So you need to know exactly what a, b, and c are. And these are all taken from the equation, right? So that's from the equation. So once you have, so as you can see, a is 1. So if you look back into the equation, okay. But you'll find that a is 1, b is -5, c is 6. So that is from here, right? Okay, where is it? Where's our... Oh, where is our... Okay, here we go. So a here is 1, right? The coefficient of x squared. B is -5, the coefficient of the middle term. And c is the constant +6. So that's a, b, and c. Once you have a, b, and c, you just substitute it to the formula of the quadratic formula. All right, okay, we pass through it. So here you go. So you just substitute this one into the formula, and then this would look like this. So you substitute everything a, b, and c to the formula, and then you compute it. And then when you compute it, remember that's also plus minus there. When you use the plus, the answer for x is 3. When you use the minus, the answer for x is 2. So the final answer is also the same as method 1 and method 2. X equal to 2 and x equal to 3. So now we have presented to you 3 methods on how to compute the quadratic equation. So you just select which one you think is best for you. Which would you prefer? Factoring? Would you prefer the completing the square? Or will you prefer the quadratic formula? Alright, for me, I rather use the quadratic formula because I just need to have a, b, and c, and once I have a, b, and c, I just need to put them into the quadratic formula and then solve for the value of, or the values of x. Alright? But that would be your preference, right? Whatever you would prefer, whatever is best for you, then do that, alright? Alright, thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment below, alright? And I'll have more videos like this in the future, so please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you again in my next video. Bye.